I'm trying to understand, why are you guys so heavy on trying to keep people here that's not supposed to be here? First, they're not supposed to be here. They crossed over into this country illegally. They should be deported. Secondly, they've committed a crime inside of the United States of America. Third, they've been identified as gang members. 3 strikes over in California, you could get a life sentence. You can get 25 to life as an American citizen under the 3-strike rule.
See, but the difference, Anton Daniels, is that just because Trump says that they're been identified as these gang members doesn't make it true. We all know Trump is a bold-faced liar. These people, even though they came over here illegally, in the Constitution, Anton Daniels, if you read it, if you understood it, you would know that even if you come over here illegally, you have certain rights. Due process is one of those rights. Now, you can't vote. There's other things that you cannot do, but you do get due process. You have to go to court, be found guilty of what they're being accused of, and then they can deport them the hell up out of here.
Judges blocking orders. That is what's happening in the news or over the weekend. Trump invoked the Aliens Act. It's something like the Alien Invasion Act or something like that, right? And basically it was a way for him to basically show that we are being invaded, or we have been invaded, by illegal aliens, specifically gang members like Tren de Aragua. And we need to be able to invoke this act to expedite the process to deport illegal migrants that are a part of gangs. And liberals have a problem with that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what's going on.
The Alien Enemies Act dates all the way back to 1798. It's only been used 3 times in U.S. history. The last time was during World War II, when Japanese Americans were sent to internment camps. That move, of course, already sparking some legal...
Let me stop and say, baby girl kind of nice looking. I like her. She looked good. I like what she got going on there. Okay.
Challenges.
And one of those challenges has already worked. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo joins us now with those late-breaking details. Tim.
Jory, Michelle, it is clear the U.S. is not in a war right now. This isn't necessarily a loophole, but maybe kind of a workaround from the Trump administration. Clearly, they're making some moves, trying to, claiming the U.S. is being invaded at this point by Venezuelan gangs, and that's why they were invoking this rarely used act. But within 2 hours of this announcement this afternoon, a federal judge blocked it with a temporary restraining order. Now, the White House claims the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, or TDA, is perpetrating, attempting, and threatening an invasion or predatory incursion against the United States. And yes, while there have been arrests of TDA gang members in Colorado and in New York in the last year, many view this move as an attempt by the Trump administration to accelerate deportations. A federal judge...
So, just a question. Couple different questions here. First question is, you can't get a judge to do nothing when it comes to expediting immigration or to move faster through the immigration courts and getting things done and all of that. But you're telling me that within 2 hours, because a lot of these judges are liberal, they are appointed, within 2 hours, they're able to try to get a temporary restraining order against Trump from deporting illegal migrants that are a part of gangs outside of the United States of America? Where they do that at? So
within 2 hours, yes. You can do that here in the United States when there's due process and you are deporting people illegally. Now, these gang members, if they're gang members, they should be deported. But there's due process that has to be done. See, that's the thing you lawless Trump supporters don't understand. You guys talk law and order, and you want to deport these people because you say they're breaking the law, but Trump is breaking the law as well because he's not giving these people due process.
2 hours of Trump declaring this act, they are able to get a judge to input a temporary restraining order against Trump from deporting people that have been identified as a part of gangs and is over here illegally. Okay, just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
We're on the same page, or at least we are. You're not, because these people, they're due process.
Afternoon, shut it down before it really ever began, even ordering planes that were carrying non-citizens that are literally in the air right now to turn around and return to the U.S. Even before the Trump administration announced it would invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, there were signs this was coming, and there were questions about the legality.
It's never been used in this circumstance before. The terms of the statute require that we're at war or that there is an invasion. Many of the executive orders have used the word
neither, which are true. There is no invasion, and we're not at war with Venezuela.
Invasion, I think, in part to prep for the possibility of using the statute in order to deport people. But you'd have to have a judge who agrees that there is an invasion under the statutory definition and that we are looking at enemy nationals.
So this temporary restraining order issued by the judge just minutes ago puts those deportations on hold just for 14 days. ICE will keep those non-citizens in custody until the lawsuit makes its way through the courts. The ACLU were the ones who actually brought this to the attention of the courts, claiming those Venezuelans being deported are actually being sent to prisons in El Salvador, not their home country. The Trump administration, not surprisingly, already responding, claiming the president's Article 2 powers give him the power to unilaterally deport anyone who poses, quote, a significant threat to the U.S., clearly something that'll go through the courts for the next days and weeks to come.
Well, in the meantime, okay, because I want to make sure that we all on the same page. In the meantime, the Trump administration said, that's nice, we still gonna get these people up out of here, and they completely ignored the judge's orders and temporary restraining.
That's exactly what Trump did. Trump, just like this clown Anton Shoeshine boy Daniel said, Trump and his administration, those who were involved, totally ignored the judge's ruling, which makes them criminals. Anton Daniels, you're supporting a criminal who is performing criminal acts. So it shouldn't be surprising to anyone. Trump is a criminal and he is performing criminal acts. By defying that judge, by not listening to what that judge said, he is breaking the law.
Order, check it out.
Now to the battle over immigration. This weekend, the Trump administration deported hundreds of Venezuelans it says are members of a notorious gang, sending them to a prison in El Salvador. The White House is invoking a little-used but controversial law from 1798. Sources tell ABC News the administration made a calculated decision to ignore a federal judge's directive to turn the flights around. Here's ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang.
Tonight, the Trump administration sharing this dramatic video from the president of El Salvador showing alleged Venezuelan gang members arriving to his country overnight, marching into prison. The administration deporting hundreds of Venezuelans from the U.S. that they accuse of being members of Tren de Aragua, despite a federal judge yesterday ordering the administration to temporarily cease deportations under the Alien Enemies Act. The president invoking the obscure wartime law from 1798 that was partially used to intern Japanese Americans during World War II, allowing the government to deport non-citizens without due process. The judge saying during yesterday's hearing, any plane containing these folks that is going to take off or is in the air needs to be returned to the United States.
Never.
The president of El Salvador posting, oopsie, too late, in response to an article about the court order. Sources tell ABC News the Trump administration made a calculated decision to...
You see, to Anton Daniels, breaking the law is funny to him. The guy who talks about law and order and we need to get these people out of the United States because they've broken the law, just coming into the United States illegally is breaking the law. While he supports a guy who was convicted of 34 counts, he's a sexual assault abuser and a bold-faced liar. That's who Anton Daniels supports. While he's talking this law and order and get these illegals out of here, he supports a convicted felon. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming back to the Black Only News and Entertainment Network. Peace, take care, and be safe.
Nor the judge's ruling to turn around the flights because they were already over international waters. But in a filing today, the